And welcome to Flamecast. This is Todd Platts.
And this is Travis Buckmeyer.
And we've had a big month here since we last talked.
I think it's been less than a month, but it has been a good one.
Yeah, a little less. I'm wondering if I'll be able to post this right away. Because it'll be 2 in a month, and I only get so much space for the podcast to actually be uploaded, so we'll see what we can do. But
Right.
maybe we'll lower it just a slightly lower quality, and I'll be able to fit more in. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways, lots of stuff going on this month. Starting out with oh geez, what did you do this month, Travis?
I decided to take a little trip. I haven't been out west, in a while, so I figured I'd just head out to this little city called Anaheim. Some folks may or may not have heard of it. It's just a little town out in California there.
Yeah. So what's going on in Anaheim?
Well, yeah, see, there was some folks who were getting together for a little adventure, and oddly enough, it was most everybody seemed to be focused on a new Star Wars film that could be coming out later this year.
Suppose you may be talking about Star Wars Celebration.
Why, yes, I am.
Yeah. So I saw some of the pictures online that you had, but
those weren't meant for you, Todd.
Yeah.
I thought we were pretty clear about that.
Yeah, the first picture you posted was, your nice hotel area where you're having dinner or something like that. And what was my comment?
Kind of whined about that, didn't you, Todd?
Well, I just said, oh yeah, here comes the pictures where I'm all awesome and you all suck.
That's not what I was there for, Todd, and I'm a little hurt that you would feel that way because you were more than welcome to join me on the adventure.
You know what? I should have. Oh, man.
Yeah, you really should have because it was a good time.
So we saw the lines that you were in. Did you actually make it in for the opening ceremony?
So, yes, I did, and what was really odd is I'd gotten there on Wednesday, and I arrived at my hotel, about 3 o'clock, give or take. So, got situated, got changed, and went out. Just walked. I was within walking distance of the convention center, so I decided just to walk over and check it out, scope it out, see what was going on. And so I got over there probably about 3:30ish. Give or take. And I walked around, finally got to the side where the main entrance area was, where if you saw my pictures, you would have seen the giant banner that was out front there. I get over there, and there is already a line formed that is going around the other side of the building.
Yeah.
And
you didn't camp out there?
I actually sat and debated on it, and I really debated on it. One of the challenges, because I went out to this by myself, so the real question is that while, it's pretty easy to make friends with a lot of Star Wars folks, again, I wasn't totally prepared for a camp out situation, and, I didn't have, like a little chair or, stuff like that to try and situate yourself on. And at that point, I decided that, there's already enough people there that I'm not going to get in to probably the first 10, 15 rows of the seats.
Yeah.
So I figured I would just actually go and relax, do some stuff, and get up early and go down there. So I got up really morning. I think I was at breakfast at like 6 in the morning, and I went over by 7. Yeah, I was over by 7 o'clock. I was over to get in line, and I was in the last line that was seated inside for that.
Oh boy.
So I sat there for 3 hours in line to be the last section allowed in. So
wow.
Yeah, but it was still awesome. One of the things that you do miss about not doing the overnight thing is J.J. Abrams did actually go and get pizza and delivered it himself.
Yeah, I heard that.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Anthony Daniels always makes his rounds to those things. So he goes through the crowd, does pictures, selfies, chats with folks. So he's pretty hilarious.
Awesome. So, well, since you were there for the opening ceremony, of course you got to see the new trailer that they
On a big
came
screen.
out with. Yeah.
Big screen.
Yeah, okay. See, I was watching everything streaming online, and so I saw the opening ceremony there.
Mm-hmm.
And right at the end, when they're like, "Oh, everyone, stay in your seats because we've got something else for you. Would you like to see a new trailer for the movie?" And everyone's like, "Ah!" And then the screen went dark on me. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me! They cut it out there? Come on!" I'm like, "There's got to be another feed somewhere." So I went back to their website, and lo and behold, they premiered the trailer on the website the exact same time that they premiered it at the celebration. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, how cruel.
Yeah, that's pretty mean if they when you do it like that, because I mean, just the emotions of the folks that were in there is that, they always talk about that wave of emotion, and I don't think I've ever actually been in a room, when you're talking that many people, because there were at least 20,000 people inside, and to have that much emotion and cheering and just sheer joy it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, right off the bat, you see that crash Star Destroyer in the background. And it's like, oh, cool.
and everybody missed the fact there's a crashed X-wing in the foreground.
Yeah, I didn't notice the X-wing until someone mentioned it, because I'm so fixated on the Star Destroyer. It's like, oh yeah, there is an X-wing there.
We caught that the second time through.
Yeah. But yeah, then you get to the end, and you got Harrison Ford and Chewie there, and it's like, I suspect the crowd just went nuts at that point.
Oh yeah, just when you hear Harrison's voice, you get the voice of Han Solo, and you felt it in the room. It was almost, there was like a brief second of absolute silence, and then just, oh my God.
Awesome. Well, I see by the pictures that you ended up having your first photo op on that day too.
Correct. So I was trying to time it out, because those things can get tricky to time with the wait times and whatnot. But
right.
So for day one, I got a picture with Billy D. Williams, who played Lando Calrissian.
Uh-huh.
And I wish I could say you get to actually hang out with him more than you do, but in the photo op line, they keep you moving.
Yeah.
So it's come in, thank you for the photo, and if he gets time, he'll respond to you. Otherwise, he's prepping for the next person in the line. But it was just cool to hang with him for that brief amount of time for that picture.
So I suppose you didn't get your assignment done with him.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have heard something by now. But
yeah. It's one of those things. Like I said, they keep you moving in those situations, and you don't get to do. I mean, I'm sure everybody who gets to go through that situation wants to, do more. But the folks running it are very much in the business of keeping it moving.
Yeah, I'm sure with with so many people there.
Yep.
So anything else interesting on the first day there?
First day, well, I do want to go back to the actual the trailer part of it there, and folks, some of the folks that may or may not have seen the opening ceremony on that. So you have the BB-8 droid, or I keep calling it the.
That's right. Droid. Yes.
So they actually brought it out on stage.
Yeah.
The toy, and I shouldn't say the toy, the actual droid model that they use for that. So it's a free-rolling, remote-controlled object like R2-D2. My understanding was that they are going to have a replica toy available before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same size. It will be smaller, but nonetheless, it will be a toy BB-8 droid that you can purchase for yourself or for a loved one. keep that in mind, everybody. So that part was cool. Another part of the trailer, which I did not catch until that was pointed out to me, there's a part of it where when the Millennium Falcon is flying and you see it fly through an engine.
Right.
If you actually pay attention, that is a different Star Destroyer than the one in the opening sequence. That is actually a Super Star Destroyer.
Aha.
So it's one is that how big is that you see this battleground of destroyed stuff? Just how big of a battle was it, and will it be something that they bring to light in the actual movie?
Oh yeah, I'm guessing probably yes.
One would hope so. One
Yeah.
would hope so. Solar Day One stuff. You see the new stormtroopers in the trailer.
That's right.
There's a licensed company now that does the replica armors called Anovos, and they actually had about a dozen people in the stormtrooper outfits walking the conference floor. So you could check it out, take pictures of it. My whole point was trying to get the guys inside to talk, and I did get one of them to confirm that it's hot in there, so that's something to think about. But that was kind of a neat thing to actually, when they actually had that stuff there at the at the celebration, so that folks could take a look at what you're seeing on film.
Yep, and I believe one of our podcasts back a bit, we've got a link to their website because they also do Star Trek uniforms.
That is correct. They do Star Trek. They do Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
I believe they probably have some other stuff.
Yeah, they do. There's a number of things that they do, but I recognize the name right away. It's like, oh, Star Trek and Star Wars, and yep. Awesome. I mean, that stuff is high quality stuff.
Yes, it is not cheap. It is it's high-end gear. They are replicating materials and whatnot, and obviously they are making a commission on since they're licensed. So not cheap, but if you want the full-blown replica stuff, it's a solid source for it.
Yeah, just be prepared to have the money for it too.
Why, yes.
This, like you said, it's not cheap.
Not cheap
as far as material and price.
Yes. It was funny though is that when you talk about the fact that the Star Trek costumes, day one on there we did run into several Starfleet folks perusing the celebration, checking it out. That part was hilarious because these guys are good costumes as well, and they're making a point of it to try and interact with other costume characters that were milling about.
That's funny. It brings me back to a few years ago when we had Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Yes.
That stood outside, what was it, episode 3 premiere?
I think it was.
Yeah. And then the Spock shows up and flips everyone off. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. It was funny because those guys, they were pretty hilarious, when they were fitting in with that stuff. You saw a few odds and ends with different characters. There was one evening, there was a guy who had a really complex Transformers costume with a lightsaber. So, it was stuff like that going on that was pretty neat to watch.
Yeah, I see that rebelscum.com, who kind of deals with the collecting aspect of Star Wars and such.
Yep.
They just posted a bunch of pictures of many of the cosplayers over there. And I got as far as image 48 before we started going, but I wonder how many they have. I haven't really looked at how many.
There had to be a lot because one of the neat things about something like that is you got the number of fans who are in very complex, very neat costumes that are involved with that. But you had a lot of different things going on. Like New York is where there's a group that actually will teach you lightsaber fighting techniques.
Oh, yeah.
They actually put on a demonstration / play on the floor, the showroom floor. They had a section kind of cordoned off for this stuff, and they were doing a scenic bit about the rise and fall of Jedi Knights. That was amazingly good. I mean, they had some really interesting demonstrations of what they could do, and actually doing a little, you want to call it a little scene that they had put together. So it's hats off to those folks and their efforts.
Awesome.
I think I also had a video clip that I had shown of. This was day 2 that I taped this one. They had the trooper skills.
Oh yeah.
And so basically, it was a little obstacle course. So you'd have 4 troopers, and this could be like a stormtrooper, biker scout, whatever. But you'd have 4 troopers and a regular person not in costume. And you had to go through this course. So table 1, they all got a set of Nerf guns. They had like 6 or 8 rounds in it. And then there were a bunch of targets on the table, so they had to shoot as many targets as they could. Then they had to move on to stage 2, where 2 troopers, they had to walk with, they had 2 boards. So they had to walk and have ropes, from the boards holding it up, but try and step and go through a path on these things. Followed by a beanbag toss, followed by a metal rings that they had to crawl through. Then they had to have one trooper sort out pictures of ships from the movies, and they had to put them in sequence in which they were seen on screen.
Oh,
and then
boy!
The last little bit is they had one of those little scooters. Those little scooters that you ride along, has little mini handlebars on it.
Yep.
You had to have somebody go on that, and what they were doing is portraying them, driving through the indoor forest. So they had to go through a course. For bonus points, if they could stop and pick up the stuffed Ewok, they would get bonus points. So, again, entertaining to watch. I mean, again, these were members of the 501st that were in costume doing this, and hats off to those folks, because that did not look easy.
Yeah, I mean, and just maneuvering around with that armor's got to be tough.
Oh yeah, and your vision is so badly.
Oh yeah. Awesome, cool. Of course, day 2 we also had the Battlefront showing. Little trailer there that we've been waiting for Battlefront for quite a while here. And it's finally showing up, and what was it? November 17th, the thing's going to come out.
Yeah. What I'm confused by is there's some confusion that the video shown for the trailer is not actually gameplay footage, but something they set up using the game engine.
Yeah, I saw some back and forth about that online, where people were like, "No, it's actual gameplay," and others are like, "No," and
it's not. It's not actual gameplay. And I wanted to get in and try and test it out, but one of the challenges with a convention like that is there are so many things to do, and if you want to do something, you have to plan time to stand in line to do it.
Right.
So the Battlefront one was one where I wanted to get over and check it out, but that line was so bad that I decided to give up on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked online, and they do have, of course, a website where they announce the prices for the thing. There's a special edition of it, which it didn't seem worthwhile enough to spend an extra $10 on, because I mean the basic set that you get is like $60.
Right.
So $70 you can get the extra special one, and it's like, yeah, there's not enough there for me to make it worthwhile. I mean, it's tough enough for me to wrap my head around $60.
Yeah.
But I mean, for people that pre-order, you get the Battle of Jakku, which, let's see, if you don't pre-order, that comes out December 8th for you. If you do pre-order, you get it December 1st, so, I might just go ahead and pre-order. Which,
yep, that's, again, that's one of those things where,
Yeah, I'm just thinking, for my household, I'll probably need to buy 3 3 games of this thing. I mean, one for myself.
There you go, early Christmas presents.
Maybe one for Sean, one for the girls. Who knows? But yeah, they'll make their money on us.
That's all part of the plan.
Yeah. Day 2, I think that's when they did the Fan Film Awards as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not actually get in for that. That was another one there where the lines where you had to get there early. And for day 2, I had a different plan of stuff I was trying to get into, and it just did not work for me. So the sad part is I didn't get in there for it. The funny part is that when I was waiting in line for another set of pictures, I did get to meet the guy who was with a group called Pixelplex, and they made a fan film called Episode 4: A Toy Story, which I'll share a link with Todd so you can throw it up there. But again, it was actually pretty amusing, a little bit of a fan film. I'm quite certain they didn't win anything because he pretty much told me in line that they didn't win anything, but they were a top 25 finalist.
I'm trying to remember if I saw that one or not. I mean, I went through all of them that they had on the website, but I can't remember. I mean, it sounds, but yeah. We'll post a link and we'll figure it out.
You notice it distracted him briefly, but that's all right.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a list of everyone that won over there.
Yes, it's your list on there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so best comedy.
Get out there and check it out.
Yep, best comedy. We've got Bounty Buddies, which it's basically Boba Fett giving pointers to Greedo, and of course we all know how that works out. But very well done, and it's basically in the same kind of animation that you see for Robot Chicken. So yeah, pretty well done. That was one of them I voted for, so I gotta say, good job there. Best animated film, it was A New Employee Orientation, which that one is all right. I had to laugh a few times during that one. Spirit of Fandom Award was Forceful Imagination. This one was kind of different because it was, a girl playing with her Star Wars toys, and you got her brother that's kind of like a evil influence on her toys. But done with, of course, all the action figures and such, and I thought that one was well done. I think I voted for that one as well. Best visual effects, Knights of the Old Republic, Broken Souls. That's one of those where it was very well done, but I think that was one of the cases where I think there's more sound effects and such that are going into this than what Lucasfilm gave us for what you can use. But if you can win with it, hey, let's go ahead and do it. So
that's right.
Best nonfiction film, Journey of a Fan Film. It's kind of like a behind the scenes of an actual fan film that this group was making. And interesting. Oh God, I can't talk here. Now. Focus. I'm drinking too much beer.
Great.
Interesting. Oh God, I can't say it now. Okay, compose myself.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Anyways, on an interesting note, I'll say it that way. It also won Audience Choice Award.
Okay.
I got interrupted here.
Did you fix the interruption?
Yes, I think I did.
All right.
I am not making supper. And then we have... They didn't actually say the name of the award, but it kind of takes place of the George Lucas Selects Award, which I'm guessing is kind of... maybe it's called the Kathleen Kennedy Selects Award. Just a guess, since she's the one who's actually selecting them now. But that one is Lesser Evil, which I can't recall watching that one, so I'm not quite sure about what that one was about. But
we'll have to see when we get links to all those for everybody to check them out.
Yeah, I know. If you go back to, there's the live feeds that took place for each day.
Yep.
When they show the fan films, they show all the winning fan films after the actual ceremony. Right. And as far as I know, that's the only spot where you can actually watch them right now, because you go to the fan film section of the StarWars.com website, and there's nothing there yet. So, unless they've updated in the meantime, you can go to that link, and which I'll post as well. But yeah, let's see if we can't get in there next time.
Yeah.
And we've tried a few times now, and we haven't had anything. But who knows? Maybe next time.
If you don't try, you never have a chance.
Yeah. Try. Always try.
Actually, we should just do.
Yeah. Yeah. We should. Of course, that's up to you.
No, that's up to us.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of up to you.
It's kind of up to us.
Yeah, then we saw later in the day, of course, you had a little picture there with a certain brother and sister.
Yes, and it's been interesting that I've had a few folks comment that they didn't quite realize who that was, but yes, I did get a photo op with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, so Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. That was actually pretty fun. They were very interactive for, again, only having a few moments of time with them, but they were very good with the folks that came through.
Awesome. Yeah.
What most people don't realize is that Fisher, so, over the years, she's had some quirky personality things going on, and if you actually see the hour-long, I should say it was supposed to be an hour-long, kind of a Q&A discussion thing that she had at Celebration. Yeah, they did cut it short when she started to kind of divert from the agenda. But to help her focus and stuff, she's got her little dog. And what you don't see in the picture with us is that to her lower right, or when you're looking at the picture to the lower left, her little dog is actually hanging out there.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with all these people. And let me tell you this, that line for them was long. And that little dog sat there the entire time, having a good time, checking out.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I saw that she had brought him up on stage too, so awesome. Yeah, let's see. That was still part of day. Was it day 2 or day 3?
That was day 2.
Yeah. Well, day 3, was that the day that they released or had the little panel for Rogue One? Or was that day 4?
That was day 4, because I missed that one.
Oh my gosh. Well, you did see the trailer online, didn't you? Correct. Before they pulled it?
Yes. Yes, they went after everybody who showed that.
Yeah, man, they got to throw that up there again. On one website that I kind of keep track of, they kind of speculated on why it wasn't online anymore, or, I mean, why they were shutting people down and not putting it up themselves. But
what's your speculation at this point?
It's something to do with Mission Impossible, the next movie coming out, and yeah, maybe it's going to be in front of that movie as a trailer. Who knows? But yeah, it had something to do with them. I'd have to go back and reread that, but
yeah,
just speculation.
They have not actually filmed anything for that movie yet, so everything that was in that trailer was something they put together for Celebration.
Yeah.
So nothing that's in there has actually been filmed for the movie itself yet.
Yeah,
and for those who don't know, the Rogue One movie is, the basic premise is it takes place between episode 3 and 4, and it's about the group that actually stole the Death Star plans from the Empire.
Yeah. And from what I hear, it's kind of more of a militaristic type movie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Militaristic, and to the best of our knowledge, there will be no Force users in the movie unless they
Right.
have Darth Vader.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably not. Maybe at the end. Maybe.
Correct.
But,
That's entirely possible, but at this point, what they're saying is that they're not going to.
yeah. So that, yeah, I mean, that's going to be, what, December of next year, I believe.
Correct.
So, I mean, you get your Force Awakens this December, and isn't it December?
Correct. This is
Again,
like
for the-
December
yeah.
18th is
Yeah.
for Force Awakens, and it'll be roughly the same time next year for Rogue One, and then Episode 8 will be in May of the following year.
Oh, man. I was
Yes.
thinking it would be more time in between for that, but awesome.
Nope, they bumped that one up for some obscure reason, and I believe they're actually going to start filming here shortly.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, your overall experience, I'm gonna say, was probably very enjoyable.
Yes, it was. Like I said, for anybody who hasn't gone to something like that, except there's a lot of people you're dealing with, a lot of personalities that you deal with. You have a lot of fun. I met a ton of really wonderful folks that were just, good people that you'd probably love to hang out with. Only had a few instances of folks that probably need to be slapped upside the head a few times. But overall, it was a very fun, very enjoyable experience.
Was one of those people part of the group outside demonstrating?
That was one of them. So for folks who didn't see it, there was 4 or 5 folks out front asking us to repent our sins, and God is their favorite person, blah, blah, blah. So they had some signs. What they were trying to do is get their signage and get in front of all the photo ops that folks are trying to do out front. So, it was a little rude on that part there, but it's a country that believes in your freedom of expression, which is great, and as long as they're willing to sit there and have people explain their freedom of expression right back in their face, that's cool.
Yeah, I especially like the counter protest.
Yes. Yes.
Where you've got troopers walking around with like Vader's Lord and and stuff like that. Or oh gosh, there was the footprints one, which I liked. Gosh.
Yeah,
I just saw it on one of the pictures here that I was.
The religious counter protest, which was hilarious, and then you had the anti-Jar Jar protesters, which were dressed up as Ewoks.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. And when I saw only one set of footprints, the Lord said, "Sand people travel in single file to hide their numbers."
Yes, I'd say for like I said, those counter protesters weren't there the first day, so props to them for so quickly getting their stuff together to get out there the second day.
Yeah, awesome. So someone's got access to a nice printing studio.
Yes. Keep in mind our friends at the FedEx Kinko's type places were very nearby, so.
Oh yeah.
A little creativity, a little extra coin, and boom, got some signs.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and they did announce the next one would be in London, so that's even further away. So I gotta say, I won't be able to make that one.
If we're looking $1,500 give or take, we can go.
I've always wanted to go there because I'd really like to see the Doctor Who experience and such, but now is not the time.
Yeah.
I just can't do it, not monetarily.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I said, folks get to realize that your airfare, it's $1,500 plus, whatever taxes they then tack on. Hotel, and for example, my hotel at Celebration Anaheim, I got one that was within walking distance, so that I did not have to have a rental car, and yet my hotel averaged almost $300 a night.
Ugh, good Lord.
So, that's the kind of things that happen out there, and think about you're eating out for all your meals. Even if you're eating a very simple meal, you're spending a bit of money for every meal. So that's the kind of thing that adds up quick and does not make that for a cheap adventure, which is why we don't go to every single one of them.
Yeah. So they didn't have any Super 8 or Hotel 6 nearby.
There were some, maybe a
I'm
few
sure
blocks
those are
out.
booked up like immediately, but
Yeah, that gets to be part of the challenge there. But even then, so your difference is going to be, $200 a night, and
yeah.
your accommodations may or may not be as, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, from what I've seen, when you travel pretty nice.
I would say this: the hotel I stayed at, I mean, the room itself was, I'd give it a 3 out of 5 stars.
Oh.
It was definitely a 4 or 5 star hotel. It wasn't bad. It wasn't awesome. And luckily, I had neighbors with 2 little children that couldn't sleep and liked to scream a lot, so that was even better. But that's
yeah.
the way that goes for those type of events.
No wonder you wanted me to go along with if it was $300 a night.
Just saying.
So I'm gonna split the cost. Yeah. Yeah. Next time, maybe we can get. Matt's a father now, so who knows if we can get Matt to go to this stuff.
Well, Matt might need a break by then, so if Matt
yeah,
break,
that's
he can
true.
come with. But I would say, so next year will be London, so I doubt I'm going to that one.
Same here.
The year after will most likely be Orlando. That probably is still up in the air, but I imagine the one after will be back in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing that too, so I guess I'll have to start saving up for that.
There you go. That's the spirit, Todd.
Although I hate flying, so I may just drive down. Hey, I could drive, and on the way driving down, I could pick you up, and we could go down together that way.
Unless I just want to fly.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
That's your choice, though, but I'm just saying.
I'm not a big one for flights, so.
That's not so bad. I mean, my
last. Actually, it was a trip down to Orlando. Actually, I went to SeaWorld and Disney World with the family and such, and the flight down there, we ran into some turbulence around Chicago, somewhere in there, and it was enough where I was like white knuckled for about an hour. I'm like, I can't take this. I'm like, don't let me look outside the window. There's going to be a wing that's going to rip off.
Was it bad enough where they made the flight attendants sit down and strap in? Because those are the ones that I like.
Oh, gosh. I can't remember. Well, it might have been. But, no, when I'm flying, I do not... I put on the seatbelt at the beginning, and I do not take it off until we are safely connected to the terminal.
Wow, it may not be good for me to fly with you then.
Yeah.
Because I love those people.
I gotta agree with George Carlin on this. It's such a bad name. Why do you call the place where you end up the terminal? Just a poor choice of words, but yeah. Well, with all the well, let me back up here. Let's go to the hot word of the month.
All right, hot word of the month. Dun, da, da, da.
Well, we kind of messed up the last time on the hot word of the month.
And I actually got asked about that. I want you to know I got asked about it.
Yeah. Oh, you should have told them. Just write anyways and say, hey, you made a mistake. Because, yeah, it wasn't until after we actually completed the recording that I realized, well, we were going to give the hot word of the month and we never did. Matt interrupted me and we never got back to it.
Yeah, so everybody, this is Matt's fault. It's
Matt's fault. Blame it on Matt. So, his email address again to complain is... No, but I was thinking that would be the last one if we didn't get any participation. But since we screwed up, well, let's try it one more time. So, but yeah, with all the trailers that have been coming out in the last month, we are going to have the hot word of the month be the word trailer.
Dun, 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 dun.
So there you go. That's your assignment, people. Go ahead and email us the hot word of the month, which is trailer again.
And Todd, what will the prize be for this year? Or I should say this month.
I was going to ask you about that.
Let's give him a hat.
A hat.
Do we have hats?
We do have hats, so that could be one of the. Are you trying to win one yourself?
Why, no.
This is a little suspicious here.
I'm also promoting our Flaming Deathware.
Yeah, which I gotta say we did fix the logo on the hat, so it is the new spread out productions name on there. So I was able to fix that. So when you go to the website, you'll see that it's fixed on there too.
And let's put it this way: if we get a winner who will actually submit the entry and win a hat, I will also purchase a hat.
Oh, there we go.
So that we have more than one hat out there.
Awesome. So there you go. There's your assignment, people. And something that we've just overlooked, I should say, in the last couple of Flamecasts is the fan film of the month.
Yes. Well, we've had other exciting things happening, so it's understandable.
Right. Well, last one we had so much to talk about, but I got to make it a point.
Yes.
Stick it on the agenda. But this is one of the fan films that was actually in the Fan Film Awards, nominated twice, but did not win. And I thought this one was so funny. But
yes, I actually watched this one, and it was quite entertaining, quite well done.
Yes.
I felt bad about Black and Gold Trooper, but I'm over that now.
Yes, this one is Stormtrooper Target Practice. That thing is out on YouTube, so I'm guessing that, okay, if you're not one of the winners of the fan film contest, they allow you to go ahead and stick your films on YouTube, so which looks like that's the case, because not very many people have viewed it at YouTube right now, so let's bump that number up for them, because I thought this one was well done. I had to laugh so many times.
And it's not long. It's a nice condensed length on there, and it is entertaining.
Yes. So we'll post a link on the website for that. As I was saying, we went and fixed the logo on the hat, but that's not all you can get from the Flaming Death stockroom.
It's not. Why, Todd?
No.
Tell me what else I could get.
Oh boy, you could get a lot of shit there. There's no kids around here, is there?
Only in your house, Todd, and I think they're all scared of you.
Oh no, you can get much more than just the hat. You can get T-shirts. We've got a few different selections of T-shirts that you can get, including, of course, there's the ever-present Flaming Death Productions T-shirt. Recently added, which we talked about last time, is the Connect More T-shirt.
Well, that's pretty sneaky, Todd.
Yeah, pretty sneaky, Sith. I'm halfway tempted to wear that one to Comic-Con this coming weekend. But
I'm just saying that could be a good promotional thing for you.
Well, it's between that and the regular Flaming Death T-shirt. I'm like, Flaming Death Productions T-shirt I might end up going with. Although I will be wearing a Flaming Death cap, which you can also get at the website, of course.
You could, you have the Connect More T-shirt with the Flaming Death cap. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I'm doing a photo op there with Sylvester McCoy, and I plan on having my movie clapboard with me, and actually having my attire there, the Flaming Death Productions attire, in the picture along with the clapboard, and we'll see how that turns out. But yeah. Of course, you can also get our DVDs there. You've got Yoda's Treasure, you've got Luke and Leia, and the commercial of Connect More. as well. So very reasonably priced movies. So,
and for the amount of effort that went into Yoda's treasure, and again, I'm going back to the Hoth scene, that is worth the $5.
There you go. Support these poor actors who endured the freezing temperatures on Lake Billsby and Cannon Falls.
Yes, that was a wonderful set, and gosh, how I miss it.
Yes. From the experiences that I've heard from that particular shoot, yeah, you may want to buy just to support their medical causes because they may have lost fingers supposedly, but from frostbite. But
it's quite possible.
Yeah. So there you go. FlamingDeath.com. That is at flamingdeath.net. All right, let's go into some TV news. I gotta say, have you seen the Netflix edition of Daredevil?
Why, yes, Todd, I have.
So, okay, have you actually gone through the whole 13 episodes that they have?
That was my mission before I left on my trip. So yes, I got through the entire season.
Well, don't tell me what happens because I'm only about halfway through.
Oh, so you didn't get to that part yet. Okay.
I'm actually watching these while I'm at my lunch break at work. So
Understood.
Yeah. As we're going through those, I'll end up catching up, but already, I mean, it's done so well and it's gotten such great reviews that hey, second season, it's on, man. They've already said that yes, they are doing a second season, so good for them because this is an awesome show. And yeah, which was it? It was one of the early episodes where they had that one shot fight scene in that hallway with all these guys, all these Russian guys coming at him from a couple of doors, and he just takes them all out. And in between, you can tell he's just exhausted, but another guy comes at him and he springs into action again. It was just awesome. For one take, I'm like, no way, that's great.
Yeah, they did a very good job with that entire series, and let's hope they can continue it on for another season.
Yes, yeah. And some interesting news I heard about. Supposedly they're going to bring Galaxy Quest to TV.
I keep telling you it's the best Star Trek movie ever made. No one believes me.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, though, because, obviously, I'm guessing they're not going to have the original actors because some of those people you are not going to get as a TV actor.
Right. That's part of my concern is that, part of that whole movie was the cast that they had together. So if they do go forward with something like that, it will be interesting to see how they pull it together.
Yeah. The names were so big in the first place. Alan Rickman, I can't see doing TV anymore.
Yeah.
There's there are actors that have come back to TV and tried to get back into that from making movies, but I
don't think they could afford what they'd have to pay those guys to do a television show.
Exactly.
So, unless they have them on for the premiere episode or something like that, that's all I can see. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to have to turn it into, an entirely new cast if they actually do take it to television.
Right. So, I'm hesitant about this one. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it was a great movie. So let's see how they do.
Yep.
I'm not going to condemn it because we don't really know a lot about it.
Well, again, it's still speculation, so we'll have to just wait and see what happens with that.
Alrighty. All right, let's go to movie news. There's just been so many new trailers coming out. Just this past month, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, they've started to kind of unload those in the marketplace.
Yeah. We did get a new one, of course, for Star Wars. Everyone's aware of that. Speaking of that trailer, I had heard within the first 24 hours it had 88 million views.
Yeah, isn't
and
that
that is just freaking nuts. If you look at the YouTube link to the official trailer that's there,
mm-hmm.
there isn't 88 million there. So it's got to be divided up between different websites, I'm guessing.
Correct, between Celebration and Star Wars website.
Yeah. And I'm sure they're kind of figuring in, everyone that was at the opening ceremony as well, You got to include those people.
Yeah, I don't know how they were actually counting it because, that was only like 50,000 of us. So, for the actual online hits, is considering that's also worldwide, is what we're probably looking at.
Right. Yep. But, less spectacular trailers have come out. We did get a new one for Terminator Genesis, which I'm looking at this one, and I'm like, I'd probably go see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's terribly done or anything. It looks interesting, I should say.
Right.
We also got a new one for Fantastic Four, and this time they included shots that had the Thing, so we got to see what he looks like now. Otherwise, there was a lot of shots in that trailer that were the same as the previous trailer, so not too much new, but some added. Maybe they didn't have the Thing ready. Who knows? But
it's hard to say. I'm still having a hard time just trying to figure out what how they're going to pull that all together. I mean, the one trailer looked really good, and another trailer looked kind of iffy. So, I think it'll be wait and see. I'll probably go see it in the theater, but I don't think I'm going to rush to get in there for that one.
Yeah, I'm about the same way. And then this one is kind of funny though. We had a trailer that was leaked for Batman versus Superman with what was it, Portuguese subtitles?
Correct. What it was is it looked like somebody at a Portuguese theater had actually taken their camera phone and recorded somebody previewing the trailer.
Right. And I'm trying to watch this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is poor quality. And all these people are already talking about, how great it looks and everything. And I'm like, how can you tell from this quality? And then, as I found out, they had just released officially the English version of it, or U.S. edition, whatever you want to call it.
Well, what happened was, so the leaked version went out the same day, only after the Star Wars trailer release.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of oh my god moments going on because of that. So the next day they decided to go ahead and release the actual trailer.
Yeah.
Apparently it was not meant to be released because they didn't want to compete with the Star Wars trailer, but you know how that goes.
Yeah. Yep. Since that leaked one is out there, they're like, we got to do it.
Yep.
It was what I kind of gathered, but and then I just saw this one yesterday, but kind of seeking from movie news to comics news, which we rarely have here. But I saw this one. I'm like, I got to mention this one. Everyone's pretty much familiar with the Dark Knight comic series, which is actually kind of the basis for Batman versus Superman, actually. And they came out with the Dark Knight 2 a few years later, and now they just announced they're coming out with Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. And not too many details there, but it looks very interesting. You've got the same writer as what we had for the previous ones, which was Frank Miller. Or actually, he was writer and artist. So yeah, you've got The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Returns, and Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. So something to look forward to there. Which, I mean, I was a little bit surprised because I thought, listening to the podcast Fat Man and Batman, that Frank Miller was kind of distancing himself from, his Batman stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? Money talks, so...
And that's got to be it. Because, yeah, you got a direct quote on here from Miller. He's like, Batman remains my favorite comic book hero, and a sequel to Dark Knight is going to be daunting, but we'll do our best. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the way it works, so, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's good for him because, yeah. I mean, for people that haven't seen it, you got to go and get the animated version they had of The Dark Knight. It's awesome. It comes in two parts. Parts 1 and 2. But just the I mean, you get the fight with the Joker in there, and it's just awesome. It's even got the Nazi woman with the Nazi symbols over her nipples. Which is like, wow, you got this in an animated movie. That's awesome. So, yeah, there's our comics news. So, yep. No, I am still not making supper.
I don't know why.
Yep, I'm just sitting here drinking beer and podcasting. But I actually had a interesting weekend. Well, just yesterday and today. They had the citywide garage sales. And that's kind of funny because about half the things I got, and this never happens to me, but about half the things I got were free. And I'm like, I always check as I'm walking by these driveways, the free piles that they have, and it's like, yeah, nothing there, all junk. But I actually found there was a plush R2-D2 it was the M&M promotion. So it's like an M&M that's wearing an R2-D2 costume.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm like, hey, I'll pick that up. That'll be on my desk at work. And then another solar-powered calculator for playing the Star Trek game that we've got from FASA. So you can never have too many calculators, because every person could use a calculator there. I came across a dartboard at one rummage sale, and I'm thinking, okay, there's no tag on it or anything, but it's sitting at the end of the driveway. I'm like, well, it must not work, because it's one of those electronic ones. And so I picked it up, and I started bringing it up to the garage where the people were, and they're like, oh, yep, that's in the free pile. And I'm like, well, does the thing work? Oh, yeah, it works all right. The only thing is we don't have any darts for it. I'm like, well, that's just really weird because I have darts but no board. They're like, well, it's a match made in heaven.
That's great.
Yeah, so dartboard for free. I couldn't complain there.
No, that's a good find.
Yeah. I also picked up one of those coolers for a laptop, that the laptop actually sits on top of, and it keeps the processor or the bottom of the laptop actually cool, so it doesn't overheat. And that thing totally worked. I checked that out. Like, well,
good.
when I replace my laptop, and then I'll have this to cool it off because, yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned it on the last Flamecast, but when we had my party, my laptop fried.
Yeah, I think that was mentioned. That was possibly brought up.
Yeah, the graphics were too much for it, and the graphics part of the motherboard totally burnt out. So,
Oof.
yeah, I'm gonna be looking for a laptop here very soon. I've got the money for it. It's just a matter of finding the right one. So, and Rachel's like, "What do you need a laptop for? You've got a PC," and it's like,
Gotta have
"No,
it.
you need something that you can take with you, And I'm thinking of, not just if it's good enough for gaming, so be it. But I'm thinking of our audience. When I go to another location and want to record a Flamecast, there we go. We've got a laptop to do it.
That's the spirit. That's the way to
So I'm taking
come up
one
with
for the
a reason
team.
for that.
So, oh gosh, what else did I pick up? Yeah, some odds and ends here and there, but I did end up picking up Rise of the Planet of the Apes because I've heard that these new Planet of the Apes movies are actually pretty decent, and I still haven't watched any. I'm not sure if you have either.
I watched some of the first one. I just never quite got into it.
Okay. Well, I only paid $1.
Well, in that case, that's probably worth it.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't do much worse there. But yeah, there was one sale I went to, and I'm trying to acquire a lot of the James Bond movies, and I've only got 3-4 of them so far. I haven't really been actively pursuing them, but one guy had, I'd say, 5 or 6 of the movies that I didn't have. Only thing was, he's like, he wanted 2 for $5, so they were selling for $2.50 a piece. I'm like, man, the garage sale prices are inflated because last year I'd go out and all these DVDs were like $1 a piece, and yeah, now it's like tough to find $2 ones.
Maybe there's a high demand on some of this high quality used DVD market.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! And then there was the one person that was selling Blu-rays, and my gosh, you could almost go to the store and buy them for the same price. I mean, they were like $15, $18, and such. I'm like, really? Come on.
Yeah, unless those are new ones. I mean, yeah, those you can get to the store. The discount racks already for a competitive price.
Yeah. So I thought that was a little outrageous, but no, I didn't have the cash on me at the time too, because I had spent money on the cooler for the laptop, and I did end up forking out $3 for the Muppet movie. The more recent one, not the 1970s version. I'm like, well, this will be for the girls, and I ended up getting something for Sean as well.
Does Sean know this?
Yeah, I sent him an email. He hasn't replied back to me yet, but he had made some comment about his George Foreman grill, and he ended up getting this thing as a Christmas gift, and it's way bigger than what he needs for just himself, because I use it quite often and make like 5 hamburgers at a time, and 5 in our family. So there you go. You cook everything at the same time, and so I wanted to find him a smaller version, one that was about half the size. And for yesterday morning, I swear I drove across 3/4 of the town at various garage sales from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock looking for one of these. And I finally came across one, and there was no price tag on it. I'm like, oh, geez, I wonder how much they're gonna, with the inflated prices of people nowadays at these garage sales. What is she gonna ask for it? And I'm like, I pick it up and I'm like, how much for the George Foreman grill? She's like, oh, $1. All right, so I go and pay for it. So after I give her the money and I have it in my possession, I'm like, I've been looking all morning for this thing. And she's like, if I would have known that, I would have said $20. I'm like, that's why I paid you first. Oh, boy.
You could have been a real pal and just gave her an extra $1 and doubled her revenue.
Yeah, I could have. But, see, I kind of mentioned, the whole story of, I've got the larger one and I want to keep that for myself and give them a smaller one. And she's like, well, you know what you should do? You should tell them that you spent a lot of money on this thing then. And I'm like, I'll tell them that I spent $20. Yeah, and then I picked up, because I am kind of back more into cycling again. I did quite a bit of cycling last summer. And then once it turned colder, it's like, you just don't want to be outside during those times. So I ended up picking up an exercise bike it was only $10. So I'm like, that was a decent enough deal because, you buy one of those things new and you're looking at, about $100 for the same thing. So
again, the whole point is, as long as you found your value in it, it's a good deal.
Yeah, of course Rachel's like, yo, you're never going to use it. So I'm like, yes, I am. Don't tell me what I'm not going to do. So I did get some decent buys this weekend. So.
Well, good work on that.
Yeah, I just had to throw that in.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a big garage sale shopper. I just don't have the patience for it. But I appreciate anybody who goes out there and finds a good deal because you know what? That's what the world's made of.
Yep, that's right. Oh, I do have to say that kind of another subject here, but the last podcast, I think I did mention that I was going to send out Matt the infant-size Starfleet uniform.
Yes. Did you do this?
Yes, I did. Excellent. I went and uncovered the thing. I've got so many tubs underneath the stairs over here that I had to go through, all of them to find this thing. I'm like, I can't remember which one I stuck it in, and I've got about 10 to choose from. But I ended up finally finding it. So I went and packaged up the thing and sent it off to Matt, so hopefully maybe on the website we'll see a picture of Alexander in a Starfleet uniform.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you, Matt. Put it together, man. Make it happen.
There we go. So that's his assignment. Obviously, you failed in your assignments from last time.
Hey.
Yeah.
At least I got there.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. You've got the pictures, so we've got that, but would have been nice for those bumpers. Yeah, I'm just saying. We'll see if I can accomplish my assignment next weekend at Comic-Con.
You can do it, Todd. You can do it.
Yeah. Well, it should be a slower paced convention rather than the Star Wars Celebration. So we'll see what we can do.
You have to wait in 2 hours in a line for stuff like that. You understand.
Yeah. But if we can get Sylvester McCoy to say, hello, this is Sylvester McCoy, and you're listening to Flamecast, it would be awesome.
That would be spectacular.
Yeah. So
you might not be able to do that, like I said, during the photo op session. However, if he is doing an autograph session, he might do a recording for you on something like that.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind then.
Yeah, the photo op sessions, again, it's the talent is not in control. It's the guys running the photo booth that keep it moving and keep you.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. So we'll see what we can do. All right. Well, that's Flamecast for this month. I am Todd Blatz.
And this is Travis Buckmeyer.
And that's a wrap.
Woohoo!
Okay.